evening, everyone. Hope we're all good. It is Wednesday night at 7 and for another live talk. So tonight we have the lovely Amy Battle, who I met through the Spillers Ambassador programme, but has just kind of been one of the most inspirational people that I've met. So Amy is an equestrian, she is a mom, she is a police officer, and she was also diagnosed with MS. Is it 7 years ago now?
Yeah, 7 years ago I've had it.
So we will kind of go through all that. So thank you so much, Amy, for coming on. Just tell us a bit about your riding story then. So how did you get into horses?
So my family are not horsey at all. I come from I actually come from down in Suffolk, Ipswich, where I was born, and they moved up here when I was moved to Barnsley when I was 2. So I've grown up in Barnsley all my life. And when I was young, Mum and Dad were like, do dancing, you'll love it. Yeah, I did love it. Yeah. I can't dance. So when I stopped dancing, I refused to do the dancing at about 5. Mum and Dad were like, well, you need to do something. And one of their friends were like, oh, there's a riding school down the road. Why don't you take her, see if, she's always round at fields where horses are, because where Mum and Dad lived, it backed onto fields. And I'd always go down and see horses and stroke them over at gates, and there's pictures of me like being tiny. So I went down at 5, and yeah, I think it was my parents' biggest mistake. So I rode at the riding school till I was 10, when they got me my own pony, a little 32 grey pony called Steel. We got him on loan off one of my mum's friends, and I kept him till he passed away at 25. So I had him 15 years, and he was amazing, the biggest character going. Like, he'd dump me and run home. He'd dump me on a field and run home to my parents. He'd not run home to the yard. He'd run home to my parents' house and stand in the front garden or on the drive, and he was ace. So yeah, did everything with him. Mainly show jumping. I've always focused mainly on show jumping. And then did a bit of cross country with him. Carried on show jumping. Obviously got a bigger horse. I had a 14-3 Palomino mare after that called Honey. And I put Steel out on loan to friends, and he was just, he continued being the best pony. Honey, again, show jumped, very little cross country with her. But then when I wanted to do more BSGA, with her only being 14-3, she really struggled with a horse that's striding. So I purchased a big 17-2. It was sold to me as a 16-1. Not sure how I didn't realise the difference. Warm blood gelding called Boise, who was just big, gormless, lovely, heart of gold. And then for some reason, one of my friends were like, I'd never done cross country. He'd never done cross country. He competed at 6-year-old finals all over Europe. Never seen a cross country jump in his life. And my friend were like, oh, do you want to do a team chase? Put a thing on Facebook. Anybody want team chases up at Frickley? And I'm like, yeah, can't be that bad. What can it be? We're doing intermediate class. Oh yeah, I remember intermediate cross countries. I've jumped in 120s, 125 show jumping. It'll be fine. And then I got there. I went there the day before I walked the course, and obviously the hedges were like bigger than me. And I'm like, this might not have been the best idea, but bless him, he was so good. He just went round. I had no control because he was just following everybody else, galloping, tanking off with me. And yeah, started my love of team chasing. So I team chased for quite a while with him.
Is that, I don't know who this is, you, Amy? I don't know. You can't really see.
Yeah, that's Lucky, my next team chase horse. So
just said to people to check out your Instagram for your team chase photos, because they are insane. They're just mental.
It's good though, because like you ride as a team and it is a lot of fun. But Boise was just too big and strong for me. I was like a pea on a drum on him. Just looking, I ain't got any of his pictures around here. And he just take off me. I had him in the Liverpool driving bit on the bottom, and he still, if he wanted to go, he went. I was doing a 9-week residential course at work, or it should have been 9 weeks, but it turns out I'd gone into firearm section, but firearm section usually helps if you can shoot straight. I can't, so I didn't quite make it in that bit. So for the 9 weeks, I sent him to be with my friend who team chased with me as well, a male called Fraser down. He lives down in East Sussex. And I went down to visit him after I failed my course, and he was out hunting. I took him out hunting for the day. Now I'm not a hunt person, never really hunted. And it was just amazing, and he loved it. You could just see he was in his element. He loved the hunting. He loved team chasing with Fraser, because Fraser couldn't hold him as such, but didn't want to, because I got a show jumping background, I wanted to interfere probably a bit more. I wanted to see a bit more of a stride, whereas Fraser hunting background just wanted to go. So I made the heartbreaking decision to sell him to my friend, on the proviso obviously only went to my friend. And then I got Lucky, which is the one that you've just shown the picture of. And I bought her from a lady called Mel. And that's where I found Sammy as well, because when I tried Lucky, I actually tried Sammy at the same time, because Mel had bred Sammy. Now Sammy's obviously my horse now, and my main horse. Well, that's my only horse. But at 7 years old, she was just wild. She was just like this explosive bomb. So I bought Lucky, and the thing was to do a bit of eventing with Lucky. Sorry, thing was to do a bit of eventing with Lucky, and I did that and did show jumping, qualified as scope finals and all things like that a few times. And then my friends were like, come team chasing with her, and I did. And yeah, we had some awesome times team chasing. I used to lead Team Ride Away, which were the nicest team to ride with. We had some amazing rides, amazing runs. Went to national championships with them, but unfortunately in that season I started having a lot of health problems, and to cut a long story short, it was at the end of that season that I got diagnosed with AMS and was advised not to team chase anymore. So I sold her for what I thought was going to be a youngster horse to event, and to be, to do everything with. And she was great, but she just had this like little wicked side, and she unfortunately at the riding club national championships reared up, came back and fractured on my pelvis, which I didn't really need. So yeah, that happened, and then I never really trusted her afterwards. And I stayed in contact with Mel, who had bought Lucky off, and she's like, try Sammy, try Samsara. Yeah, and so I went and rode her out, and when you just get that feeling of feeling safe, and after having one flip on me, that was just the main thing. And then got Sammy, and obviously 5 years later, because I only got her on loan. Mel was just like, take her on loan, just have some fun with her. She just needs to be doing something. She's 13 now. Yeah, and she's 18 now. She's never going to go anywhere else. I bought her after a few weeks. I'm like, no, she's never going anywhere. And yeah, and here I am.
Oh, she's beautiful as well. Beautiful temperament, Sammy, isn't she? So I've had the pleasure of meeting her at an event, and she is absolutely stunning in real life as well. So why show jumping then? Because coming from a wannabe eventer, I kind of show jumping, as you know, has been my nemesis this year. So why your love of show jumping?
I think I don't like dressage. I've never been a fan of dressage. I had to do dressage when I broke my pelvis to, get back into riding, because I had to have time off and I weren't allowed to jump. But I just find dressage very, subjective, and obviously, of course, it's somebody judging you. Cross country, you're all right, but you can't get enough of them. There's not really a cross country season as such. Whereas show jumping, you can literally find one. I mean, everything's pre-entered now, so it's a bit changed, but you can just find one, turn up on day. You either knock the jump down, or it stays up, or you're the fastest. And it's black and white. There's no opinion to it. And does it matter if you're stylish? No. Does it matter, if you're on the wrong leg? No. And that's just what I like about it. I think it's just, I do still obviously put myself under pressure, but yeah, it's just very much, you turn up, you go in ring, your leap jumps up, or you don't refuse them and you come out.
And I remember that from when we were at Epworth, and I was kind of saying, I'm wondering about, I look like shit though when I'm riding. You're like, who cares? Did you leave him up? Yeah, that's fine. There's no points.
No, there's no one stood there scoring you unless you're doing a proper style jumping around. So it don't matter.
And you've recently done a bareback class as well.
Yeah, I do. I've done a couple actually. I being little, I used to ride my pony bareback all the time. I used to jump in bareback. I used to take it, as you are a kid, you gallop up and down fields bareback. And I remember being at pony camp once, and I came up over the cross country fence in a head con lead rope bareback and got an absolute rollicking for it, because I jumped all the meter on my 13.2 bareback. And it's just something that I don't mind it. I like riding Sammy sometimes. Like if I forgot my saddle and bridle, I'd quite happily put a red collar on and still take her out riding it. I just enjoy it. It's just something different.
So is there anything that scares you? Because I've not, looking it through your Instagram, talking to you, you've team chased, you've done all this fantastic, you just seem fearless to me at all. Like there's no fear.
I have, and I suffer badly with anxiety anyway, and the scars from my MS are actually in my behavioural part of my brain. So I do suffer with anxiety, and it's something that I struggle with. And if you see me the morning of any competition, I'm very, very nervous. Any competition. I mean, the team chasing used to be worse. I could be throwing up on the start line. I used to be a thing, but I've got a very much of an opinion that if I don't do it, I'll regret not doing it. And if I don't do it whilst I still can, like with my illness, I could wake up tomorrow and not be able to walk ever again. That's obviously in the extreme, but I have to factor that into my life. So I sometimes just have to talk myself into doing stuff and say, no, you've got to do it, because what happens tomorrow if you can't?
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So going back to your diagnosis then, so you were a busy equestrian, you're doing your team chasing. Kind of how did you handle that, and what were your first initial thoughts when you did get diagnosed?
Not very well. No, so I work, I mean, I've been a police officer for nearly 14 years now, and I worked response at the time. So we're doing, 24-hour shifts and, everything like that. And I've never been able to do night shifts. I struggle really badly with them, but I was getting worse. Like I was just falling asleep, and luckily I worked with the same colleague all the time. So we were permanent partners, a bit like seeing movies, which I know not a lot of police officers get that chance of, but we were, and we just had the right time. And my legs would give way, and he'd be like, because I've changed my name recently, so my surname's Meacham, or was Meacham, and he'd be like, because I don't, in police, you never get called by your actual name, so he's just like, Meach, you look like a right idiot, keep dropping to the floor, you need to get that sorted. And I'm like, oh, it's right, there's not really any pain in it. I get pins and needles a lot in my shoulder and things like that, but I just always put it down to team chasing falls, because when you come off team chasing, you're usually coming off at flat out gallop, and it's a cracking fall. So never really thought much of it, until it got really bad, and it was always more noticeable on nights and on late. So I went to the doctors, and thank you, and the doctor like, I think you've just got a few problems with your spine. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, injection, operation, whatever. Oh, nothing through. She can be nice. So I just thought, yeah, operation, whatever, sort my disc out. I'm not fussed. Anyway, they MRI'd my spine, and I do have the spine of like a 50-year-old builder. I've got dehydrated discs, I've got ripped discs in the base of it, I've got a thing called Burt-Lockey syndrome as well, where two of my vertebrae are fusing together. But I haven't got nothing that presses on my spinal cord. So they were a bit like, oh, yeah. So then they did all nerve tests on my legs, and my legs don't react properly. So then I went to see the neurologist, because my mum's got MS. Now, it's not a given that if your parents got it, you're going to get it, but just with putting everything together, they were like, right, saw the neurologist, then I did a lumbar puncture. Well, I had another MRI then to do my brain, and it came out with all scarring on my brain, and then did my lumbar puncture, and the lumbar puncture showed that I got MS, and I just crumbled. I was just, it was just such a strange time, if I'm honest, because you're like, you're in limbo. You just don't know how your MS is going to progress. The only thing predictable about it is it's unpredictable. No one can tell you how it's going to be from one day to the next. No one can tell you how you're going to progress. No one can tell you what medication you're going to take. It's just really hard, and I struggled with that from someone who likes, because of my anxiety, likes to be a planner, likes to have my things in order. It was just like, I've got nothing in order now. My boyfriend's mum at the time came to see me and said, I've asked Craig to split up with you. I don't want him to be with you because I don't want to have to look after a disabled person. And that were only like 2 days.
Oh my goodness. How do people even comprehend that?
I think she just couldn't understand it. And obviously quite a lot of time with disabilities, you see the worst. You see the worst. And people only like scream about the worst. So yeah, so then that's when obviously I got this mare that was, you know, meant to be I want to keep. I got her at 6 years old. She'll learn to adapt to me. And she was good, but she just had that streak. And if she went, she went. And there was no reason for her to rear up on me. We still, like, my best friend was there on the day, and we're still like, did she get stung? You know, that was how it was. I mean, it could have been that, but I just never trusted her afterwards. So having to mentally try and cope with MS and you know, trying to cope with a horse you don't trust when it's your hobby and you know your fun, it were awful. And then yeah, I just spiraled downhill quite mentally, quite hard. And then, like I say, I got Sammy. I only had Sammy about 8 weeks when I found out I was pregnant. So one thing and another, but yeah, she's massively helped me with my mental health. And you know, she's like my therapy horse, because she's just so chilled out about life. I mean, if you see her when she's warming up, she's like the psychopath to warm up. You know, she's going sideways, she's bouncing, and to show jump, you know, she's on it, she's on the ball. But everything else, she's just like that. That's fine.
So she kind of pivotal in your kind of acceptance of your diagnosis, and just helping you think that there is something, you know, you being such a dedicated Christian before, that Sammy will still give you that outlet that you so need.
Yeah, she definitely. I mean, I think if it wasn't for finding her, I don't know if I would have continued riding. Because I think I'd have always been like, well, what if the horse doesn't do this? What happens if the horse doesn't accept it? Because although I'm like, I still, you know, fit and able, I still do everything, there are days where I can't feel my feet. I don't know where they're going. I don't know how I'm walking. I can't put any pressure on my left side, or I can't use my left arm, so I have to ride with one arm. And she just accepts that. And it's just nice, because I don't have to think I'm going to have to compensate, or she's, you know, she doesn't even compensate for it. She's just like, well, she does, but she's just like, yeah, whatever, don't matter, I'll just do what you tell me to do. I don't mind. So that really helps me, because when I'm with her, then I don't feel like I've got an issue. I don't feel like I've got MS, which is quite nice.
Yeah. So it is your kind of like your therapy. You always say that she's like your horse therapy. It is somewhere to go, and it's like your safe place, and you can just enjoy it, can't you? And you can just be you. Because from me knowing you, I wouldn't even have known at first that you had MS. You kind of get on with life. You portray a very positive outlook, when really, like you say, you could, when you first was diagnosed, you could be in that negative space, couldn't you? So what helped you keep that positive mindset?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not positive all the time, and I will put on social media the times that I do have my down days. But then I do, you know, I do like to plan. I do like to prepare for things, and you know, planning competitions and going to see my friends at competitions, and taking her out and just having fun with her. And this year has been very much like, we've concentrated on show jumping a lot. She's done things for me that I never would have thought possible. Like, she's, you know, we went down to Blue Chip Championships in, was it 2019, and won a class. Now, to win a class for a complete amateur at a big show jumping championships, I never thought that would happen. She took me around Bramham, around the 125 class at Bramham. You know, she'd never jumped 125. I'd never jumped 125, but we're like, yeah, we'll go. We'll have a few fences down. I'm not bothered. But Bramham's very close to me, and I've always wanted to do that. So because she's 18 now, I'm now doing things this year that I thought, instead of focusing on the show jumping, all things that I've just always wanted to do. So, like, you know, I did that one day event at Epworth, and bless her, she was absolutely amazing. She got 39.3 in the dressage, which she was tense. I think the judge was quite lenient, if I'm honest, watching the videos back. But then she did a double clear, and the course was big and meaty. Especially
it was a big course. The cross country was a big meaty course, wasn't it? So
yeah. So I think by doing different things with her, like the cross country, I've taken her to a few cross countries before, but to go, you know, pure cross country with her, that's something different. She qualified for the Ellen Championships that day. Just having fun with her, you know. I don't know how long I've got left with her being 18, I'm hoping, because like even when the vets check her, they're like, no, you shouldn't look her age, shouldn't act her age, just keep her going. So I'm hoping I've got a fair few more years with her. But this year's more been like, well, we've had half of last year cancelled, we've had some of this year cancelled, so why not just make the most of it this year and just enjoy different things.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. So how do you manage your illness with riding then? Is there anything that you have to do different, or do you take each day as it comes?
Just every day as it comes. So she's on DIY livery. In winter with my shifts, I do have her either brought in or turned out, because I just literally with Kiki and what, you know, having to be at work at a certain time, I can't physically get to the yard. But apart from that, I muck her out every day, and I think that helps massively, because that keeps you going, and you don't have the opportunity to, when you're feeling perhaps a bit rubbish, to sit back and go, I can't be asked today, I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna, you know, like some days we all just want to sit there, eat chocolate and cry, don't we? We don't want to do all, we just want to put a film on that we've seen 20 times and sit there and go, just staying here for a day, that's me done. But yeah, having her on DIY, obviously can't do that, so it does, she keeps me going. I take a lot of pain medication, nerve pain medication, so yeah, as soon as I wake up, pop some pills, gets me going. Before I go to bed, pop some pills so I can sleep, otherwise I can't sleep because of my nerve pain. But apart from that, I just crack on.
Yeah. Brilliant. And you are an ambassador for Spillers, so that's how me and Amy kind of first came into contact with each other. We were finalists in the Spillers ambassador program, and the one thing that I absolutely loved about Amy was she was more concerned in ensuring everybody else got the votes than your own. Weren't you? You were just plugging everybody else, and I loved the fact that Spillers actually didn't do it as a popularity contest. It was very reflective to how many followers you'd got. So you were successful. So you are now a brand ambassador for Spillers. How's that going?
It's going good. The only thing I will not complain about, but say, is that I haven't managed to have any lessons yet with my mentor, because she's been picked for British teams and she's been out in Italy and stuff. So it's been like, oh no. But I mean, that's, you know, it's brilliant for her. And I was really lucky actually that my mentor is my physio's daughter. So I already had Janet Barton as my physio and have done for Sammy for quite a while. And then when Spillers rang me and said, oh, I think I'm going to put you with Alison, who, you know, she does jump on some Nations Cup teams. She's based up at Willesden, you know, her dad show jumps and her mum used to, her mum's now a physio, and her mum's my physio, and they're like, oh, brilliant. So yeah, it's quite nice, because for my anxiety, going somewhere completely new with somebody who doesn't know me would be quite scary, but the fact that they already know me, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to go next week for a lesson.
That'll be good. And you're obviously getting all the lovely food as well from Spillers. So getting some vouchers. And Sammy, you know, that is one thing about Sammy, she's not a good doer at all, so she has to have feed pumped in her. So yeah, got two of them.
Well, Sammy's 7'8" thoroughbred, so that's why. So that's very helpful. So yeah, it's nice, you know, and it's nice to have people that aren't end at phone. And I've met some, you know, like yourself, some, you know, brilliant people through it. So
it was such a good crew. I think the final of the Spillers ambassadors was such a nice group of people, wasn't it? Like Nicola, and just people you speak to still, that we just created like a little group that everybody wanted everybody to do well. And it was just it's nice from the world that is sometimes really negative in social media. That was a massive positive, I think.
Yeah, it was lovely. I mean, I was really worried because, like, I put in for it, didn't think, you know, anything would come of it. And then I remember, like, when it came out and I was looking through other people's profiles, you know, because there was 20 of us, weren't there? And there's like, you know, some people with these thousands upon thousands of followers, and I've got, you know, at the time I think I had about 550, and I'm, you know, I've not really used my page, especially my Instagram. I don't really use my page for much, other than documenting my horse life. And I was like, oh my god, there isn't a chance on this earth they're going to want me. But yeah, it was really nice, because like even the people with loads and loads of followers, they still got behind, like, influencers like me and other people, and it weren't, you know, people weren't, you know, like stuck up about it or anything. It was just so friendly and nice. It was nice to be part of.
It was a stressful week. I always remember that week of voting where it was just literally and every day you would send me a message going, how are you doing? Are you all right? Is everything fine? And that's for somebody like yourself that struggles, you have so much going on in your own life. Your first thing was always like, how is everybody else? Are we all good? And then you might think about yourself afterwards. So yeah, I was really chuffed that actually you got through, because it was well deserved. Very well deserved. Well done.
Thank you.
So and thank you for your support that week, because I did feel like I was gonna lose.
We were both like ready to blow, weren't we? Can't do this anymore.
I can't pummel the vote for me anymore. So what are you what are your goals for the future then? What do you want to achieve, or where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
Again, just having fun with Sammy. Like I say, I'm very grateful that I've got her, and I can literally turn her to do anything. So we are going to go down to Ellen Lodge and contest the Winter Trial Championships at the end of September. We are probably going to do a couple more one-day events because I really enjoyed it and it was a lot of fun. And then
Epworth are doing one in August.
Are they?
Just like 15th of August. Yeah, Epworth's got a unaffiliated one.
Oh, I'll have a look at that because I like Epworth.
Yeah, get that in your diary.
Yeah. Oh no, that's when Ellen Lodge is. You know that when I text you about Ellen Lodge?
Oh, the team one.
Yeah.
So team one.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we're so close to Bramham, I'd like to go in the Bramham ring again before she has to retire. So hopefully next year she can go to the 125 at Bramham again. But yeah, just have fun with her. I want to get a riding holiday booked with her again because there's nothing better than riding on beach.
Yeah.
The competitions for me, I love competing. I'm not going to lie, but they're a bit secondary now again because of how much fun I'm having with her. And like I say, knowing that I don't know how long I've got to go with her, it's just more to have fun with her. And like this morning, I was on her at about 6:15, just galloping around one of the fields that's near us at the woods. And that's the fun that I like.
Yeah, I think we forget that so easily. You get wrapped up in competing and competition season and everything else, and sometimes the simple things of just galloping through a field at 6:30 in the morning are the greatest pleasures.
Definitely, most definitely, yeah.
Aren't there? So if anybody's got any questions that they want to put through, I did see one come in, so I'm just going to try, and my IT skills are getting better, peeps, but
mine are rubbish.
They are still. Okay, we've got a question in that says, was it difficult to find horses fit for you? Currently looking and just wondering. I would hate to think I'm horse shopping again, but did you find it difficult when you were looking for?
Sammy found me. She just ended up with me on, because I kept in touch with friends. And apart from that, it was this pre-madness era that we seem to be in, where prices are, I'm dreading when I do have to find another one because the prices are just ridiculous.
They're crazy.
I'm seeing off the track thoroughbreds for £6,000 that have never done anything else. And they might be nice horses, but, people used to be virtually giving them away.
Yeah, I paid 400 quid for mine. So... because they are not, they're broken, but they're broken to race and they need a hell of a lot of work. So yes, I've seen them for kind of like 4,000 or 5,000. I just think, is that COVID, do you think, that's done? Why has the prices just massively increased?
No idea, but I'm dreading it. When the day comes to have to shop again, I am dreading it. I will probably end up contacting some friends that I know through team chasing that no racehorse trainers and being like, please just someone find me something.
Yeah.
But horses have just sort of tended to find. Thanks, Kiara. Horses have just tend to found me. Yeah. Rather than me finding them. Very rare that I've actually gone out properly shopping. And I think if I was to go find another one now with my MS, I just have to, it's more the personality that I want. I want them to be a nice person. That, you know, if I have to walk at snail's pace at field because my legs aren't working. Okay, thank you, darling. I'll keep it. Then yeah, if I have to walk at snail's pace, I have to walk at snail's pace, and that horse has got to accept that. So yeah, I'm dreading it.
Yeah, I wouldn't envy anybody at the moment. I think you always have a look, don't you, through the horses for sale section, just a little bit of a nosy. Yeah. And the like you said, the price is ridiculous. And then it's just it's all the messing about, isn't it? If you get one within the price range, there's loads of people going for it. So yeah, I don't envy at all that's horse shopping at the moment. And how you find that right one, I think I was just lucky with mine, to be honest.
Yeah, I know I've been lucky landed on Sammy, you know, and I paid peanuts for her because she'd been up for sale for 6 years and no one would buy her, because she's so quirky. But to me, she's not quirky, she's perfect.
I wonder if they just find you tend to find, like with Reg, because he was sold to me cheap because of that reason, because he was just difficult. He was at start, but now he's like an ideal horse. I think you make them as well, don't you? The partnership kind of makes the horse, and sometimes it fits with one person, then sometimes it doesn't. Maybe we just found the right fit.
Yeah, I think that's it. And I am quite a bit of a believer now in, you know, serendipity, and life's just going to work out how it's going to work out, and you know, you make your own things.
Yeah, maybe they found us.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one from Lotte. How do you combat online haters? Have you had any? And people who follow your posts commenting unkind things. That's a great question.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, if I put my work head on my police head, is just to not engage them and delete the comment and block them off. I don't get much hatred. Luckily, I've not experienced that, but I do experience people commenting on my posts who tell me that they can cure my MS with a diet, or they can cure my MS with some tablet, or they can cure my MS with some healing, and I just don't engage people. Just, you know, I just delete the comment and block them off. I'm not that fussed for it. I don't need to be told that they can magically cure all the scars on my brain, which I know are incurable. But from a work point of view, obviously I currently work in a high school as a police officer, which I know might sound strange, but in Leeds we have to have police officers in high schools. And my thing is with online bullying, online trolling is, we will look into it, but you've got to protect yourself. So if someone's gonna, you know, start trolling you or being nasty to you, don't engage them, don't entertain them, because that's what they're doing it for. Delete the comment, delete what you don't like. I know you're going to have seen it and it is going to have hurt, and unfortunately that is one of them things that you're going to have to get past, but just block them off. Don't allow them to do it again. And I find that trolls, if you engage them, they want it more, and it's like baiting them.
That's why they do.
Yeah,
you feed them. If you I would totally agree. If I've got any negative comments, I would not even, they just get deleted from my, I don't even respond to them. I'm just kind of like, I'm 43 now, so I'm very self-aware of, I'm happy who I am. I am happy with what I do. I love my life, and I don't need people kind of giving that negativity on my and dampening my vibe. I'm not down for that. So yeah, they just get deleted.
I saw recently on Instagram a girl who's got quite a lot of followers, and I love her. I love real people, and she's real. And she'd been to a competition, it had gone wrong. She'd put it on there, and then she had to come on a few hours later and say, "Please stop abusing me. Please stop telling me to put my horse down." I just thought, I said, people, seriously, what is wrong? What is wrong with them? You know, it's something wrong with them to do that, and that's not on you. That's on them. And if people have got those perceptions and people have got those inherent feelings, then that is their problem. It's not for you to sort. It's not for you to debate with. That is their problem, and they just need to go away. You know, like I say, block them off your page and leave it there, because why comment? Why comment something that's so nasty? It's just pointless.
Yeah, it says more about them than it does about you. I always think it says more about what state of mind they're in. And I tell you, of the worst, I would say, what is the worst media platform? I think TikTok is the. If you're on, you're not on TikTok, you're walking down with the kids.
No, honestly, I only got Instagram a few years ago.
TikTok is mean. It's the one. I think Facebook is up there as well. I don't massively have a lot to do with Facebook. It's more personal. I have a personal friends, like with friends and stuff on Facebook, but TikTok is really mean. I remember putting one on because we always joke that it went viral because I've got one that's had a lot of likes, but the main thing they commented on was I spelt something wrong, and I got like the grammar police on me. You're 43 and you still don't know the difference between your and your, and I'm like, oh gosh. So yeah, I just thought, what a sad life to lead. If the video is about me galloping through a field, I'm obviously living the best life at that point. Not sat behind a PC commenting on somebody's grammar. So yeah, I wouldn't want to grow up in this era. I think I was lucky. I grew up in an era where we did a lot of stuff but it never got recorded.
100%.
I think now, bullies that I had at school, they stayed at the school gates. We didn't have 24/7 bullying. So do you see quite a lot of that with your work in the schools then, that the bullying has increased? Or
no? And I think before social, there is, obviously, don't get me wrong, there is social media bullying, but before social media there was bullying, but we didn't hear about it as much. We didn't know about things as much. It's like with a dog napping, we didn't know about that as much because people didn't share it everywhere. Or with sexual assaults, they've always happened. You just don't hear about them because they weren't all over social media. So I think we still have the same levels of crimes and bullying and things like that going on, but we're much more aware of them now, and we're much more aware of the effects of them. Obviously, when I grew up, phones were just coming in, but there weren't any of the social media side of it with text messages. So that was, the limit of what people could do was ring you or message you. Social media bullying does happen, especially with young children, but I wouldn't say it's, I'm not saying it's not there. It certainly is, but it's not. I don't think it's as prevalent as what sometimes we're led to believe. It's something that as schools they do get on top of. From also my experience of working in a school, it's not schools done with, that's how our hands are done. If someone's been bullying online overnight, I know my school are, they're on top of it straight away. And if it continues, then I'll just throw the line of malicious communications down there and start it off that way. You tend to get quite a good response when you start saying that. It's very rare we've had constant bullying online. Very, very rare.
It's a different world, isn't it? It's so yeah, I would say, Lottie, don't delete the comments, don't engage them. Would absolutely. Okay, so there's no other kind of questions. What would be then, Amy, your one piece of advice, the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
Enjoy your course and have fun. Screw what everybody else thinks or what they think you should be doing, because then you're only ever trying to please somebody else and not yourself. Please yourself, enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy it, try something different. Don't think, everybody else wants me to do dressage and I should be doing dressage, but I want to go do this. Go do it then, because it's you that's got the memories, or it's you that's going to get the memories, not them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think we forget that, don't we? We forget the enjoyment bit. And there's been a lot, like, people have been kind of disheartened with competing over the last couple of days on Instagram, like, if you don't enjoy it anymore, find something else to do. There's no pressure. Don't make yourself up against somebody else. There's no pressure to do anything, is there?
And then a couple of months you might decide to go to a competition again and then really love it. I was getting, like, when I was doing, I haven't re-registered a BS this year because I've just not seen the point, because I was a bit annoyed with BS and the fact that you know, we were in lockdown for 6 months to the last 12, and they didn't give us any extension on his memberships, or you know, the championships that we qualified for, they were all cancelled, you know, stuff like that. I know it's the same for everybody, but I just thought, do you know what, I'm just not even going to do it. But I was getting to a point where I was feeling like the pressure of, and Sammy is a good horse, so she did do well. I was feeling the pressure to go to a show and win. And I just thought, no, not anymore. I'm going to go do different things so I don't have this pressure. And I've had so much fun this year already.
Oh, and hopefully it continue. So more fun to continue in the rest of the year.
Yes, definitely.
Right, thank you. We're kind of coming to the end of our session now. So thank you so much, Amy, for your time. And yeah, just giving us an insight into your life. I will put the link for anybody that wants to follow Amy's journey. I would say one of the most inspirational, motivational people I've ever met, and pushed me to do a very scary 80 on a 100 trial that I hit myself, but afterwards, best feeling in the world. So yeah, just
I remember you came past my wagon and you're like, yes, I did it. Well, Reg was like, yes, I've done it.
Yeah, Reg was like, oh, tell me back to my trailer. But no, thank you for your continued support, and hope you get everything you want this year. And no, thank you so much for your time.